I've seen firsthand the progress being made to give these kids hope and a future from lack of education, poverty, high unemployment. We at Orphan Helpers now serve youth in the detention centers through vocation workshops, recreation, and Christian counseling. Additionally, a pillar of our efforts is the Success Academy, where we teach the kids to fish by providing training, life skills, love, and support as they approach release back into society. Please join with me on the Orphan Helpers team as we seek to expand our reach into Central America to minister and teach kids how to live a productive, spirit-filled life in Christ. Thank you.
I've seen the impact this ministry has had on those kids to take them from one direction of going the wrong direction and turn around, and I saw their passion and where they're headed for the rest of their life. What an impact. So I just want to say thank you to Orphan Helpers for the opportunity to allow us to get involved and to actually make our lives count for eternity as we team up together on behalf of these abandoned kids.
The thing that always impresses us is the passion the staff have put into their work there. Especially lately, it's been a weird year with the pandemic and everything, and you have people locking themselves into the detention centers, truly living out the values and the mission of the organization. It's really quite impressive. So Orphan Helpers is a great thing to be involved in. They've got a great mission, great vision, and a really good team. And it's a great thing as a family to show our kids as we raise them that it's really valuable to give back to something bigger than yourself.
And one of the cool things about supporting Orphan Helpers is that it's been a big part of our family as a whole. Our Uncle Tom first introduced us to Orphan Helpers, probably 15 years ago. And it's been a really cool thing that we've been able to do as a larger family. A lot of us have taken trips to Central America with Orphan Helpers to see the work that is actually being done, and it's just really impacted us in a way that has made us want to support the ministry. And so we've been giving monthly over the course of the past 10 years or so. We would just encourage other people who are thinking about supporting Orphan Helpers. We don't give to ministries that we don't thoroughly believe in. Like, they're doing great work there.
But supporting Orphan Helpers has been incredibly important to my wife Carrie and I both the entire time we've been married, the last 8 years. People have an eternal value, and I think that's what's so often missed with these abused, abandoned, incarcerated folks, is that people see them as less than. But what Orphan Helpers does is see them as God sees them, with immortal human souls. And I think that's what's so awesome, that we are able to participate with Orphan Helpers and help reaching really the least of these, as Jesus talks about in Matthew. How can we get involved and help others at maybe somewhat of our expense? But that's what Christ did for us. Happy to support Orphan Helpers, and I hope that you'll join as well in supporting.
I first met the good work of Orphan Helpers back in 2008 on a trip to San Pedro Sula, Honduras. She and I are just grateful that we've been able to travel back and forth to Central America several times a year typically. And it's on those trips that we meet some of these young people that are incarcerated. The good news is these kids have been picked up, incarcerated, slowed down to the point where our Orphan Helper staff can begin to pour into their lives. These kids find out pretty quickly that our staff, our Orphan Helper staff, are not their jailers. In fact, they are their mentors. They're their coaches, they're their teachers, and they're their friends. Our staff are preparing these young men and women to get back out that gate and back home to a life that is more productive and more fulfilling and enriching. I've heard young people say that they are exchanging their mindset of retribution and retaliation for relational restoration. And most importantly, we've heard how they've come to an acceptance of their sonship or daughtership into the kingdom. We are just grateful that we've had the opportunity and the invitation to give to this work. So consider yourselves invited also. We'd love to have your help.
10 years ago, we got exposed to orphan helpers, and it happened. I had traveled in country to El Salvador and Honduras for about 10 days with a number of other people. We were part of a vision trip. You know, when you see kids that are in such a desperate condition that are hopeless, your heart can't help but be broken.
Well, and that's the whole key. If you have a daughter or son, you just can't imagine that kind of circumstance for them to grow up in. And so I saw my children. I saw our grandchildren. What if they were in that situation? How would they respond to that? God created them, and He loves them, and He wants them to know Him, and He wants to give them hope. And so Orphan Helpers is that vehicle in giving hope.
So what's been just an absolute joy for us is to watch the lives of young people, both men and women, youths, if you will, to see their lives transformed. To put faces and names together, people like Oscar and Saul and Harrison, to hear their stories that would break your heart, and to see how they come out on the other end when they get introduced to Jesus, right? I mean, like with Jesus, it's amazing what can happen.
And as you know, when you give, you get so much back in return. And so we would just encourage you to become a supporter of Orphan Helpers.
Yeah, become a partner with us.
Yes.
We would love it, and you will be absolutely blessed through it. Please consider joining us.